ultimate life form. Darker. Stronger. Faster. And more dangerous. His name is Shadow.
Chaos Blast!
Shadow, find the 7 Chaos Emeralds and bring them to me as promised.
The only way I'm gonna get the secrets to my past is to get those Chaos Emeralds.
Now, he's on a quest to discover his true purpose.
This will remind you what the humans did to you.
Maria!
Rules will be broken. Truths will be revealed. And sides will be taken.
Charge! Who am I?
Will he be good or evil? No one knows but you. Shadow the Hedgehog. His time has come. Shadow the Hedgehog. Coming November 2005.
いや、何もあんたらに意見しようってわけじゃないんだ。どこからだ？
誰かいるんですか？
誰もが見て見ぬふりをしているだけなんだよ。
なら僕が出してあげるよ。きっとなんとかするから約束する。
これまで、この作品は、ワイルドアームズ、1から3までの、ストーリーと
So far in this series, we have made 4 games, Wild Arms 1 through 3 and Alter Code F, which is a summary of Wild Arms 1, 2, and 3. Wild Arms 4 is a whole new world in terms of gameplay and look and feel. I think this game will be accepted as a completely new Wild Arms.
本作のフォースは今までの、戦争の後という
The game's setting is still Falgaia, but it takes place in a post-war era. There are no troops roaming the country. The story starts from a time when everyone begins to wonder how they can revitalize a land ruined by war.
どうした、その荒廃した大地には、魔獣という生態兵器とかが、
Although the war is over, there is a military group called Brionac. They are trying to conquer the land. Each member of Brionac has a unique ability, such as the ability to control space and the ability to read minds, etc.
支配しようとしている、といったところから物語が始まっていきます。
In this game, all the main characters are boys and girls, but they are not the ones who fought in the war. It is actually quite a heavy theme of how those children who were born after the war ended will grow
子
up.
供たちがどうやって成長していくかといった結構重いテーマになっています。まず主人公は、ジュードと
The main character is a boy named Jude. He was born after the war had ended. He grew up in a situation where he didn't know anything about the war or the outside world because he has grown up in a shelter.
かつあるシェルターの中でずっと育ってきたので、外
Later, during the process of the adventures, he learns that the outside world was completely destroyed by
どう
war.
なってるかを知らない少年で、冒険の過程
And
で
throughout the game, we learn how he grows up, how he came to this adventure and more. He is a rather pure, honest, and straightforward boy.
戦争はもう終わったんじゃないのか？
まあ主人公は最初は何も知らない。
However, an incident reveals that Jude can use the forbidden weapon called Arm, used as a weapon of mass destruction during the war.
で、あと、まあ、ヒロインで、ユーリーというキャラクターがい
The
る。
heroine of the story is called Yuli, and she doesn't know anything about the war either. She is a girl who has been isolated by adults who have repeated various experiments with bioweapons during the wartime. These are bad adults who rule the post-war world. These adults are using her as a bioweapon even though the war is supposed to be over. Jude joins Yuli and fights to protect her.
統治をする兵器がいるんで、
I still won't give up.
ずっと連れ回されているという女
Then there's an outlaw traveler just like in every Wild Arms game.
シリーズでずっと出てきてる
連れてきたあの子に危険はないと言われたからここまで協力したんだ。これ
バタ
じゃあの
リロリという
子に対して
This time he's a young man called Arnaud.
俺のわ
There's also a king's swordswoman named Raquel.
人がいるんですが、
They join the company, and the adventures of these four characters make up the story in this game.
ラクエルという、孤高の剣士が仲間に加わると。
期待に添えられないのは容赦願いたいものだ。
戦闘に入ると、7つの、六角形のマス目
When entering the fighting mode, 7 hexes are displayed on the screen. And the fighting begins with main characters and enemy characters being arranged randomly within those hexes.
行動順、敵の行動順などが、まあ、従来のシミュレーション
While conventional strategy RPGs use squares and hexes that can only hold one character each, we have completely eliminated the limitation.
ポイントだった
We created a unique ability which allows players to either move multiple characters into a single hex or keep them separate.
仲間キャラクターを配置することもできれば
The more characters they place in one hex, the more attacks they can provide at once, just like in a combination
一
attack.
つのヘックスの中に、キャラクターをたくさん配置すればそんだけ
Also, they can recover all of their characters at the same time, since the magic is cast on the entire hex unit.
でいっぺんに、キャラクター全員回復したりとかそういった要素があるんですが逆にバラバ
On
ラ
the other hand, there's an advantage to keeping your characters separate because it makes it harder for enemies to attack them.
させるか、まあ、それは敵キャラクターにも言えて敵キャラクターを一つに集めて一斉に、倒すかバラバラに
So whether players decide to position characters together or separately becomes critical.
なっていると思います。そうですね、まあシリーズ通して
Throughout the series, there has been a factor of solving puzzles by using items called goods. In this game, goods are not bound to a specific character. For example, if there is a sword placed in the level, players can use it to destroy obstacles by swinging the sword. Or by throwing it, players can turn on switches located out of reach.
これはまあ従来のシリーズ通りですね、カスタマイズして、
There's also a piece of equipment known as a badge that will modify the percentage increase of the hit points, or how much the power of attacks will go up, or the structure of how a certain special attack gets enforced. These badges can change the character's stats based on the user's
そうする
preferences.
ことによって、アビリティが、使えるようになってます。一つのグッズというアイテムに対してもいろいろなその使い方がある。
Each of the goods have various uses, so there's a factor in which players have to think about how to clear obstacles.
あとはそのさっき言ったジャンプでダンス
Do they use a good, or do they use jump mode to jump over a collapsing bridge? Such features are closer to an action game than to an RPG, and I think that part is a major difference from previous games in the series. Also, the main character has an ability called Accelerator, which he can use to make his surrounding time slower. By using this ability, he can run across a collapsing bridge while slowing down the destruction of the bridge beneath his feet.
足場も、RPG というよりも僕たちの中ではアクションゲームにかなり近いと思ってるので、
So this game has evolved beyond an RPG game, to a point where it can be compared to other action games.
いいぐらいに、進化していると思います。
Reality TV has gone to the apes, and the evil Spectre is the head of programming. His peepo monkey pals are trying to dominate the world via the airwaves. It's your mission to terminate transmission and stop the simian static. In Ape Escape 3 for the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system, there are some new elements that enhance your monkey catching experience. Based on the continuing story and familiar worlds of Ape Escape 1 and 2, the third game answers the riddle, what's more fun than 400 monkeys? Would you believe 400 monkeys making their own TV shows?
There are about 200 monkeys in Ape Escape 1, 300 monkeys in Ape Escape 2, and 400 in this version. Not only does the number of monkeys increase, but they become more unique characters. For example, they can shoot their own TV programs. Their unique abilities and their tools show up in more eccentric situations, making this version more attractive and exciting. Using physical power, monkeys try to get control over humans. In this version, using a little bit of imagination, shallow cunning, we say ape's brain in Japan, the monkeys get control. The monkeys hijack TV programs all over the world. Any channels that human beings flip to, they see only monkey channels. Gradually, the monkeys gain control over human beings by turning them into lazy men by watching all those channels.
Meet Kai and his sister Yumi.
This game lets you choose a boy or a girl for a player character. Also, these characters can transform into 7 different characters that have different abilities. Each character has unique characteristics. Fantasy Knight is a knight in the Middle Ages. He has a big sword to attack. He also has a shield so that he is good at frontal attacks. He looks ordinary, but has a high ability level, so you may want to use this character to the end. The next one is Wild West Kid. He has guns to blaze away. His major characteristic is that he's able to keep shooting while he is jumping or running, not just when he is stopped. Miracle Ninja has great movement ability. He has a ninja's technique that lets him fly across the canyons. The last one is Dragon Kung Fu. He has a stick so he can punch and kick at the same time.
Call it the curse of the couch potato. The apes have run amok, and you've got to round them up by using your net. But since these critters are tougher than ever, other implements of combat and capture are at your disposal. But be advised, you're not the only one with opposable thumbs.
There are tools such as nets or swords that players can use to attack and capture the monkeys. For this game, the monkeys can take these tools away and use them against the player. For example, the monkeys can hit back with a sword or capture players with a net. When a monkey attacks back, we call it Monkey's Revenge. And this is a new feature. This also makes play more intense.
There are also some vehicles to assist you in your quest for capture.
The most fascinating one is a sports car. As you ride in the sports car, the screen changes to a race screen, like a cockpit that shows time and courses. You chase the monkey's car, hit the car, and crash the car to capture the monkeys. This stage has a few car races, so you enjoy car races as well.
And how's this for an added bonus? There's a mini-game co-created by the Metal Gear Solid team from Konami. Hideo Kojima and his crew have their offices near SCEJ, and it seems that the team would often meet at an after-work refreshment shop. Apparently, proximity breeds cross-pollination.
We collaborated with Konami for this minigame. Metal Gear Solid 3, which was introduced last year, includes a minigame of Snake vs. Ape, which is an Ape Escape game. This time, it's the other way, with Ape Escape 3 having a minigame of Metal Gear Solid 3. Originally, we were thinking of putting in this mode as an extra, but since Konami was serious and did an excellent job, we decided to make it more special. So this cross-promotion is made through personal relationships between the Metal Gear Solid team and ours.
You've got to get through the main mode to access the Metal Gear Solid minigame, but it'll be worth it. There's so much to do in Ape Escape 3 and many ways to do it, but the main idea is still the best.
You can transform to a variety of characters who have various abilities. Monkeys also have various looks and abilities. You can use various combinations of techniques. I hope you enjoy shooting at the monkeys.
So get ready to battle the Peepo monkeys and thwart their simian strategies to conquer the world when you play Ape Escape 3.
The most popular simulation game of all time has built a home for itself on the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system. The Sims 2 for the PlayStation 2 offers all the features of the PC version, plus a lot more.
The Sims is essentially a toolbox, a people simulator in a toolbox. So it allows you to use this toolbox to play out fantasies that you might have about alternate versions of yourself, or to play God in a very small and believable universe.
We want to give players the access to all these simulated people that have personalities, have their own goals and aspirations, and then you get to figure out what kind of stories you want to tell with them.
This is a very fresh and exciting version that offers all of the features that you've had before, and in addition to that, we've got all new content.
The team at Electronic Arts makes it all possible by providing story mode and free play mode, and you might get a roommate.
We wanted to give the players a chance to tell their own stories. That's one of the unique benefits of The Sims in general as an experience. We actually have 12 story locations, meaning we've preset them with characters, 60 NPCs who live there. They have their own storylines. Most of them have their own aspirations as well. As you, the player, have to help them accomplish their aspirations to also achieve yours. And then you have free play mode. We actually have 4 empty lots. They start at ground zero, and we give you a kind of a seed money if you go and build your own house from scratch. First time ever with the PS2, you can play split screen 2-player. 2 characters living in the same house, completely autonomous, completely controlled by another player, but we can work together, we can work against each other. That whole 2-player aspect is brand new. It's something I think people are going to just go crazy for in The Sims 2.
It becomes a case of what do you want to do with your life? Customize your character using the wants and fears and aspirations features.
Each character has an aspiration that you choose at the start of the game, in addition to your personality. And then once you start, basically the game programmatically decides goals for you, and these are distributed as wants. So if you pull up one side panel in the game, you can see the gold want, which is basically the next step in the story. But you can stop between these gold wants as long as you want. So we hope that's sort of struck that balance between the question of what am I meant to do in this game, and still allowing people to play it any way they like.
We specifically re-engineered it for console for PS2, so people looked at it and said, oh, that's what a motive is, or a need. That's what a want and fear means, an aspiration. Motives are basically the minute-to-minute goals, and then wants are kind of the moment-to-moment goals, and aspirations the long-term goal.
In the previous versions of The Sims, it was always pointing and clicking and queuing up events. Now there's direct control.
This basically means you can take your character and directly control them moving around the world and interacting with objects and other characters.
But really, we wanted to give you that get in there, grab a hold of these guys, and actually drive them around. A true feeling of that kind of God mode gameplay you get from a Sims experience.
The world you've created starts spinning faster when you master toggling between classic and direct control.
And it's really fun. If I take a character, switch to classic control, which is moving a cursor around the world, then I can say, go and do this, then that, then that, then that. Then I can switch back to another character and take direct control of that character and go around the world. So we've seen a lot of cool, complex strategies come out of that, which has been really rewarding.
This is so natural. This is so easy how The Sims should be played on the PS2. It's driving my character around, running up to an object, playing with the objects, getting to turn things on and off, giving them different ways to play a game that has all the simulation. It's not scripted, meaning this world lives and breathes. It reacts to how you treat it.
It's also a world of fun objects that do fantastic and fanciful things.
So we have 350 objects in the game that have actually all been built from scratch. These are just cool objects that you get told about early in the game, and then you have to figure out what does it take to unlock them. So the game just gets more and more interesting the further you play into it.
If you aspire to be creative, there are new outlets to let your genius flow in the realms of food and fashion.
We also have a new creativity aspiration that players can access, which basically means they can now create their own recipes through the food system, and they can create their own fashions through the wardrobe.
To unlock those, you have to play through the game, meet the characters who have a certain fashion. Like if I like your outfit, I'll say, hey, I want to meet you, get a friendship with you, and now I can actually get your clothes, so I can change my character to dress like yours. In The Sims before, you could create sort of generic meals. In our game, you can not only go to the fridge and access a whole suite of options that are in there already to create food with special effects, but you can also buy and build objects in the world like fruit trees and vegetable gardens. And if you harvest these objects, you can get new special ingredients to take back and create really unique recipes.
Much of your time in The Sims 2 is spent socializing with other characters. The folks at EA have invented a new way to meet and greet.
I really love the new social game that we added for console. When 2 characters get next to each other, the camera zooms in and you have complete control, kind of like a director of a scene, watching these 2 talk.
So you're the director, the designer, the builder, and the storyteller. The beauty of this game is that you can balance all these roles to create a great big universe of fun.
The Sims is about poking at the environment and getting unusual reactions. It isn't this predictable, staged, slow-paced game.
The real secret of The Sims is players come in, they can create their own character, get into this world, and you have all these people who live there and have experiences, they have histories, they have personalities, and how they interact with each other, you start telling your own stories with those other characters.
There's a tendency in trying to bond a story-based game with a simulator for it to be schizophrenic, for the game to come out and sort of feel not like one focused, unified whole. We've integrated all of these features and laid them out in a fashion that is very accessible to players and We haven't broken that core toy box mentality either.
There's nothing else like it on console. Name me a game where you can go in there and make some weird alien with a purple mohawk, completely customize his world, go make friends, fall in love with 3 other people. There's nothing else like that. There's no other game in the world that you can do that with except The Sims.
こちらスネーク、聞こえるか？
だよ、スネーク。
お前は？
ああ、僕だよ、スネーク。
オタコン。
待たせたね。今度こそ僕の出番だ。
今どこにいる？
もち安全なところ。
これ遠隔操縦か？
うん。歩行制御はセルプロセッサだよ。
オタコン、まずいことになった。囲まれてる。
そうだね。
うまい手はあるのか？
いや、突破するしかない。
ご親切に。一緒に来るか？
もちろん、ずっと追跡してるよ。スネーク。
なんだ？
タバコやめたんだね。
いや、火種を探していたところだ。
まさにそこは火種の真っ只中だからね。
行くぞ！もはや隠れるところはない。メタルギアソリッド4ガンズ・オブ・ザ・パトリオット。ところでオタコン、セルプロセッサーってなんだ？
コンピューターアーキテクチャに革命をもたらした高性能マルチコアチップだよ。軍事にも利用されてる。
そんなものが戦場に必要なのか？
あ、プラットフォーム戦争に勝つためにはね。
このメタルでか？
それはこれから僕たちが証明するんだよ。スネーク、この先僕らはどこまで行くのかな？楽しみだ。